President Biden is back in the race. Yes, because just today in the White House briefing room, he says, I'm back in. Okay, just to be clear, he's not actually back in. He's clearly just kidding. But this has sparked essentially a national conversation about whether or not President Biden actually believes in Kamala Harris's chances or whether or not is truly endorsing her. Because as you guys know, there's been some speculation that there's been a lot of speculation that he is really not for Kamala, even in the debate. I don't know if you remember, but even in the debate between President Trump and Kamala Harris, Trump even says, I'm going to give you a secret too. He hates her. And you know what? At first, I really brushed it off, but there seems to be in there seems to be an increase of evidence suggesting that this is true. Now, we'll play this video real quick. It's only 12 seconds long. Also, real quick, I'll actually play this one first. This is the first time President Biden has been in the White House briefing room in his entire presidency. Like, how crazy is this? Look at this.
Hey, folks. My name is Joe Biden.
Welcome, Mr. President.
We've been waiting for you.
Welcome to the swimming pool.
He is so funny. Oh my goodness. People are saying, like, what's the October surprise? October surprise, something crazy is gonna happen. You know what I think is gonna happen? I think President Biden might actually roll up his sleeves and say, you know what, maybe President Trump did it right. Maybe he's a better option. And you know what? I'm seeing more and more evidence of this. Look at this. We're gonna go through a lot of things. This is finally him saying he's back in. Check this out.
Do you want to reconsider dropping out of the race?
I'm back in.
There you have it, folks. I'm back in. And he gives this little smirk. He's clearly kidding. Everyone knows this is a joke. And there's like so many people in the comment section who's just applauding his ability, to answer a dumb question in a great way. That was a great answer to a dumb question. That's the one thing you got to love about him is he knows when to give a good joke, dumb question, smart answer, so on and so forth. And other things that happened that is just sparking more and more news is people are saying that Biden is essentially throwing Kamala Harris under the bus by doing what? By holding her accountable. People are just thinking that, oh my gosh, Kamala Harris, like she hasn't been like she's not part of the Biden-Harris administration because Kamala Harris doesn't want to take responsibility for any of the bad stuff that happened over the past 4 years. So President Biden is saying, actually, you know what? Me and her, we're a team. Me and her, we've been in this thing together. We've essentially been handcuffed. Everything I did, she also did. She's been such a major player. It is so good to see. Look at this.
There have obviously been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days with the hurricane, with the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
I love this imagery. Like we are interlocked. We are together. Kamala Harris is trying to forget that this is the Biden-Harris administration, and President Biden is like, "No, honey. No, honey. This is you and me." And I'm just loving to see it. And some of the perspectives that we're seeing is just incredible. We have Link Lauren responding to this, saying, "I will continue with my theory that he endorsed Kamala on July 21st as a parting gift to Pelosi and the Democrats who led the coup against him." Biden knows how to play the game, even in his senility. He's a career politician. He sees Kamala trying desperately to act like she's never met him. She's trying to distance herself from his policies and record, but he won't let her. And why should he? Why should he? And I find it so satisfying to watch. Another perspective that we have here is from Scott Jennings. He says he's literally trying to destroy her campaign, and it is just incredible. And I don't know if you guys recall, and this is the compounding effect of evidence that happens whenever you just give it enough time. I don't know if you guys remember this from the debate, but someone who the media hates, the media always says he's never right, don't listen to him, da 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 da. Is he right again here? Is he? You let me know in the comments.
You talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Someone, and hey, I love Democrats. Okay, I value a lot of what you guys stand for, but it seems to be like a lot of people are awfully quiet when it comes to things like this. Like, admit that there was a coup. Admit that Kamala Harris was selected more than she was elected. Like, let's just be a little real here. It's about accountability. The top comment says Joe can't wait to say I told you so. And we even see mainstream media struggle with this idea. I saw this from Benny Johnson. He says trouble in paradise. CNN just accused Biden of overshadowing Kamala by addressing the port workers strike before she did an unusual White House press briefing. Check this out from CNN just hours ago.
I do have a note, and I'm curious what you think about this. We were actually about to go live to Vice President Kamala Harris, who's speaking right now in Detroit, Michigan. And apparently she's talking about this port strike ending. She's trying to appeal to union workers. And yet you have the President of the United States come out clearly overshadowing her, answering significant questions. Is that a communications mistake? Is the left hand not talking to the right hand in this situation?
That's a very good point. And if they were coordinated, as you assume they would be, this would not have happened.
So here you see the conversation expand to coordination. They're not being in sync. There seems to be some sort of misalignment between President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. And I love this imagery of two hands, right? Like, it's like these hands aren't talking to each other. And I know some people love it whenever I bring in scripture. Some people just don't care for it. But I only bring it up whenever I feel like there's like a great representation in the scripture. So these are the words of Jesus in Matthew 5, verse 30. He says, and if your hand, even your stronger hand, causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away, because it is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. I know it's a little aggressive, it's a little extreme, but I think the imagery exists right there, and I think we see it in President Biden. This is just my opinion. I want to be perfectly clear. None of this is me, trying to spit facts over here. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and trying to make some sort of compelling argument with what has transpired. Like, do you guys even remember whenever President Biden was on The View, and a lot of people were surprised with what he said here? Look at this.
And as vice president, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy. And as vice president.
You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? So whenever we have these conversations about President Biden, this is such a funny, I still can't believe this moment actually happened. Joe Biden wearing a Trump 2024 hat, smiling, almost as if there are zero regrets on his end. I just love to see it. Again, he clearly did it out of a joke, out of wanting to make the audience happy. But you know what I think about? I think about this idea that the reason jokes are funny is because there's always a little bit of truth in it. You know that, and you could go ahead and try to deconstruct that idea. That's just an idea that I had. But I do think that there's a little bit of truth underneath every joke. And if this is a joke, that means there needs to be some truth part of that expression, part of that formula. So, what is it? I don't know. You tell me. And I also really appreciate Link Lauren's thoughts here. I won't play the whole thing, but I do think he has a great perspective. Also, Link Lauren, I don't want to brag or anything, but he follows me back. I feel pretty cool about that. I think that is so cool. Thank you so much. If you watch these videos, thank you so much. Now, I don't feel that cool because he follows he follows over 4,000 people, but let's not pay attention to that. Okay, let's pay attention to the fact that someone cool is following me because I think that's awesome. Anyways, look at this. Link Lauren, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible perspective. Brett Cooper even says that he is her favorite journalist. And honestly, I think I'm in agreement there. Whenever something happens, I always look to Link Lauren's perspective just because I just think it is so top notch. Really, check this out.
Well, my friends, isn't this interesting? For the first time in 1,353 days of being president, Joe Biden showed up for his first White House press briefing. Now, Joe Biden, he might be senile, but he knows how to play politics. He's been around for 50 years in Washington, D.C., playing the game. And let me tell you why this might seem innocuous. It might not seem important, but Joe Biden showing up tells us a lot. Joe Biden knows that Kamala Harris is trying to act like she's never met the man. Kamala Harris is saying, on my first day in office, when I get into office, she is trying to distance herself from the Biden administration and all of his policies.
Well, I'm obviously not Joe Biden. And, I offer a new generation of leadership.
Biden, who is known for being very petty, he goes out in front of the cameras as Kamala Harris is in Michigan, a very crucial state today, giving a speech. He goes out there and says, we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws. She was a major player in everything we've done. Now, this is not the first time Joe Biden has done this recently. He continues to draw her back in and tie her to their administration. Now, this speaks to my existing theory that Joe Biden only endorsed Kamala Harris on July 21st as an FU to Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats who led the coup against him. As I reported back in July, I said Joe Biden was going to drop out of the race on Sunday, July 21st, and he was not set to endorse Kamala Harris. If you remember, he endorsed her a little while later, not in his initial statement. Obama also did not endorse her initially that day. If there's one thing Joe Biden's going to do, it's hold a grudge. If you remember, back in 2016, Joe Biden really wanted to run for president. He was told it's Hillary Clinton's time. You're going to go sit on the bench. When Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, Joe Biden came around in 2020 and said, I'm going to run. I told you so. You guys don't know anything. I have good instincts and I can win and become president. Now, Joe Biden has beef with a lot of people. It's a good thing he's not a vegetarian because it's been widely reported that he and Obama have not gotten along for years. The New York Times actually called Barack Obama the Democrats' elder statesman, and Joe Biden, by definition, he's the elder statesman. He's in his 80s. He's the top Democrat right now. He's the president. It probably doesn't feel good to hear that your enemy is out there campaigning with Kamala Harris, and he's being called the elder statesman. So I think it's no coincidence that Joe Biden went out in front of the cameras for the first time in 1,353 days in a White House press briefing to say, Kamala Harris, she's been there in lockstep with me the entire time. Recently, he said, there's nothing I couldn't delegate to her on foreign policy, domestic policy. Joe Biden is not going to let Kamala, Obama, Pelosi go out there and have a party and leave him behind. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. How can Joe Biden be so petty and calculating when he's in cognitive decline? I used to go and volunteer at the nursing homes. I would play piano. I would sing. I would visit my grandfather. I'm very big in the nursing homes. Shout out to all the old people watching me right now. When you spend time in the nursing homes, maybe.
You know what I love about this community? I'll just say this real quick. I just love the amount of because if I go through my demographics on my YouTube channel, like there are so many older people who follow me, and I just love it so much. I remember one day I was looking around, I was looking at my stuff, and my cousin was here, and we were talking about I don't know why, but a lot of older people, a lot of these videos just resonate with older people, and my cousin was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I older people are just drawn to you. It always makes sense, and I have a really strong relationship with my grandmother, and I just have a lot of respect for the older generation, and I'm so happy that people who are older than me even decide and choose to spend their time with me. And there's people who do this religiously, and they tune in every single day. And I just want to say right here, right now, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I love you guys. Okay, there's like a minute left, but I just wanted to do a quick shout out to all those people out there. Thank you so much. You really are my heroes, truly.
Maybe you're there visiting a loved one. Maybe you're a young lady looking for a sugar daddy. When you spend time in the nursing homes, there'll be that one guy who thinks it's 1949. He can't feed himself. He can't change himself, but he will look at a nurse up and down and say, you gained a little weight. Your ass looks big in those pants. Those guys who have been petty their whole lives, even in dementia, they don't change. Joe Biden was told not to run in 2016. In 2020, he was forced to choose Kamala Harris. He probably should have chosen Val Demings or one of the others from the shortlist. He chose her. Now he's been pushed out by a coup by Nancy Pelosi, who he just gave a Presidential Medal of Freedom to in May. I think Joe Biden has a vendetta. He wants revenge. He wants to claw and pull Kamala back into their administration and their record. The last thing I'll say is this. Joe Biden, he's known for watching a lot of news. I am sure he's seen Kamala's horrible interviews recently. He's probably thinking, I could do as well as that. They pushed me out for her. I could be doing better in interviews than she is. All right, my friend.
Wow. What a great observation. What a great observation. I want to say that I agree with everything he said, and wow. I'm telling you guys, there is as more time goes on, as more evidence continues to compound, this is becoming increasingly more attractive. I'm telling you guys, does he have a vendetta? Is he grieving his second term already? Did he really want to only be a one-term president like other people were saying? I don't know. Is he trying to cut off the hand that is essentially decaying the administration? I don't know. Is it possible? I would say it's entirely possible. I would. Anyways, let me know what you think about all this. I know a little bit of a different video, but man, do I love having this conversation. And before anybody even says something like, "Oh, why are you doing this whole conspiracy theory talk? Like none of this is real. You're just speculating." Like, yes, this is speculating. But how dare you say conspiracy theory? Could we stop calling people conspiracy theorists? Could we start just calling these people who are searching for truth? People who are searching for truth that resonates and makes sense to them. People who are searching for a frequency that actually aligns with them. Like, not everyone's a conspiracy theorist. Sometimes people are just unsatisfied with what they're being told, and they need to look for alternate reasons. So what I like to do here is I like to provide a different perspective on your menu of consumption. I know a lot of people consume a lot of different content from a lot of different places, and they have the news from a lot of different organizations that they digest, and that's awesome. That's great. So what we like to do here is offer something new on the menu, something that might not be found somewhere else. And I think that is great. I don't think people are conspiracy theorists. I think people are just searching desperately for a truth that makes sense to them. So I hope that happened here today. Let me know what you thought about this. Please let me know in the comment section on any part of the video. I think I responded to like 400 comments yesterday. I responded to a lot of comments. I'm really proud of them. Even comments that were kind of mean. I love it. Remember, you could feel free to attack my ideas. Try to refrain from attacking me. Although even if you do attack me, I try to be a little nice about it. I'm not really too petty of a person. But anyways, I look forward to responding to your guys' comments later. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time. Hope you have a great. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.